Devontez Walker out at UNC, obviously slightly weird college career, shall we say, but prototypical height, weight, speed guy. Are you a Walker believer, or are you looking to avoid him?
Not necessarily something that I'm looking to avoid. I might not be quite to the levels of what you are with Tez Walker, but I can definitely see the upside there with him. As you mentioned, he's had a bit of a crazy start to, well, throughout his college career, really. And when he came into college, there was all the trouble over in North Carolina Central, where he had to transfer over to Kent State because there was the COVID season that he missed, and then went to Kent State, had a couple of years there, and then went over to North Carolina. Nearly didn't even get to see him play this year because of all the controversy that happened, and with the fact that it would have been a 2-time transfer. So we actually ended up being quite lucky to actually get to see this 2023 season out of him. But when he get the opportunity to play, again, showing that huge upside that he's got, the big playability. We know about the elite speed. We saw it at the NFL Combine, ran a really good 40 time. Was it like a 4.36, I think? So showing that elite speed that he's got. And when you do watch the tape, that's the first thing that stands out to me. He can easily burn past these cornerbacks. Obviously, it's a different transition going from college football to the NFL, but if he can capitalize on that speed and maybe develop a little bit further as a prospect as well, because as you mentioned, with the up and down college career and the fact that he didn't really get too many looks in high school as well. I think he had about 48 receptions in high school. So you talk about the overall combination of how many receptions he's had through high school and college, it's like 150 catches. So it's not a huge amount. I definitely think there's room for improvement, things that he can work on. Obviously still pretty raw as a prospect. So I think overall the ceiling and the excitement around him is definitely something that can draw me in when it comes to rookie drafts, because I think you can get him later on in your rookie drafts. But as I say, there's still a little bit of work, I think, with Tez Walker. Somebody I'd like to see sit behind maybe a more established wide receiver, learn a little bit more to his game, maybe expand on that route tree and the route running ability that he's got. But I think the ceiling's definitely there. It's just maybe we'll have to be a little bit patient when it comes with Tez Walker.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I definitely have a type when it comes to wide receivers, and Tez Walker's exactly not that. You know, I normally try and avoid those height, weight, speed freaks that don't have the route run ability and that kind of thing. But I think he's kind of got a bit of a bad rap. I think that he had a horrendous Senior Bowl week, and that's kind of the story on him. And I think people are saying, oh, you know, he's got bad hands, he can't catch, he's not good route running, and yeah, he's not. But I think that he can do enough to be relevant. I think, you know, we look at a guy like, I feel like I say about this about every underdeveloped big-bodied outside receiver, but you look at DK Metcalf, he came in and basically ran 3 routes in his rookie season, and I think Tez Walker could do that. I think he's fantastic at the contested catch ability. I think, you know, 18 touchdowns in 20 games the last 2 seasons, like that carries, and I think that he's the kind of guy that can be that downfield X who tracks the ball incredibly well, can go up and get it over smaller corners, but can also be a threat in the red zone. And I think that has value, and that's the kind of guy that isn't going to need 130 touches and targets to be a really good, useful fantasy weapon. He could be fantasy relevant on 70, 80 targets. And as you said, hopefully if he continues to develop, he could be more than that. So I think he's got more about him than the usual. He's a big, fast X receiver that hasn't done much. You know, you look at, 900 yards in 12 games at Kent State, almost 700 yards in 8 games with UNC. And I think that there's more to him than just that big-bodied outside deep receiver. So yeah, I think I'm going to say this with all of these guys, it depends on that draft capital, but I think that he's the kind of guy that could be forgotten about because people are going to hang on to that bad Senior Bowl, who could actually be really good value in that sort of 3rd, 4th round of rookie drafts, definitely.